The older I get and the stronger that I get, not just physically, but in here and in here, the more easier it is to be gentle in society. However, it is also the case that it's very difficult to be a handsome, attractive, confident, intelligent man and be friendly in society, because a lot of the men specifically, will just see you as a threat initially, and they'll have this jealous energy or this envious energy. If you know something that maybe they don't, they take it to be a threat. And a lot of people will try to force whatever it is that they think you should be onto you. And when you don't fit the mold, it is hard to be nice, and it is hard to be friendly. I strive to be kind, but not necessarily nice. And what I've noticed over the past few years, because I was pretty much invisible for most of my life up until I was in my early mid 20s. And I'm in my late 20s now. I'm 28. And it's almost as if, yes, I can afford to be a bit more gentle because I don't necessarily have to, like, people automatically will respect me most often than not. But there are going to be a few weird bad apples out there that are going to try to instigate things or just be weird, and people will stare at you. And especially if you're an attractive, godly man that's just on his purpose, that's on his grind, it's just going to be bound to happen. That's just part of the path that we walk. And it's just part of being who we are. And so we have to recognize that these instances where there is some kind of contention or there is some kind of proliferation of any kind of particularly incredulous behavior towards ourselves, is that we don't need to take it personally. But it is difficult to be friendly, because if you, on the one hand, if you're friendly, let's say with women, women will think that, you know, you're trying to get with them, and they'll try to get all super, you know, bubbly or whatever, or they'll try to really come on to you, and you're like, okay, like I was just trying to be a polite person, but whatever. And then on the flip side, with some other kinds of women, if you're kind, they'll treat you as if you're somebody to be walked all over on. And then when you stand up for yourself, now they're the ones that get butt hurt, and it's like, you all got to be kidding me. And then with the guys, you know, it's, if you're kind and you're cordial and you give compliments or whatever, you know, if there's a guy working out at the gym or whatever, and he's I could tell that he's been putting in some work, and maybe he obviously has had some difficulty, but he's putting in the work. Yeah, sure, you might want to give some encouragement, but even then, it's sometimes people will take that to be, you know, like, oh, so now he's watching me now. Oh, and they'll try to impress you and such, or they'll try to overcompensate, and it's like, I didn't mean it like that, man. I didn't mean it like that. I was really just trying to give a genuine compliment. And so sometimes people will take the energy that you have to be just different. And depending on the person, obviously that doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes that'll happen. And then on the flip side, if you're nice as a guy to another guy, they'll take that as weakness as well, and they'll try to suck every life force that you have from you. And when you don't, when you stand up for yourself, well, now they want to get physical, or they're like, so he thinks he's a tough guy, or not. It's like, a lot of these times you can't win with these kinds of people, and you just got to make sure that you're able to read the energy more appropriately than before, and you just got to make sure that you're being who you are, but you're not trying to step on anybody's toes, and don't try to force your will onto anybody, but make sure that people will know that oh, if they want to have a problem, there's going to be no problem, right? There, we will not have a problem with being able to have a problem. That's kind of what 50 Cent has talked about in the past, right? When people come to him with a problem, he says, no problem. I think that's a great strategy to have when it comes to this kind of behavior with people is if they've got a problem with you, don't be afraid to address it. Go forward with it. But don't go looking for it either. That's what a lot of the men that I see, they'll trick themselves into believing that there are certain things happening that are not. And you'll be surprised. Obviously, there's a lot of delusional women in the world, but a lot of the times it's also that the men are hyper delusional as well. And it's no wonder. It's because men are, well, we're all social creatures. And so when men are not able to properly socialize, what happens is they don't know how to socialize. And when you don't know how to socialize, meaning being friendly, then and play nice, so to speak, right? Then, well, because there's this fine balance where you want to be competitive as a man. You do want to have that drive, because drive is absolutely going to push you to more places and put you in more positions for opening provisions and resources, opening doors to provisions and resources, than not having drive. But if you're too ambitious and you're too aggressive with people, they're not going to want to play, right, so to speak. Why would you play the game with somebody? It kind of reminds me of where you look at what happened with Donald Trump and Barack Obama at Jimmy Carter's funeral. Well, they were acting like best friends. You know, they were laughing together and ha ha ha. And some people might look at that and think, oh, you know, they're in cahoots with each other. No, that's just at that level. It's like, oh, you know, well, tried to kill you, but we didn't. You know, we were not able to. Well, you know, good game. Like that's just like that's just the way things operate at that level. And I think that was a great example. I thought a lot about that in the last couple of weeks. Just that's just the kind of level that you have to be on when you're at that stage and when you have those kinds of resources and influence. And you have to wonder, you know, are you really prepared for that? Are you really prepared for that? Because you wanna play nice, so to speak. You wanna be kind. Be kind, but play nice. And when I say that, I mean it's a game. Because life is a series of games, right? This is something that Jordan Peterson has talked about as well, is that life is a series of games. And you want to make sure that in order to play across all of the hierarchies of dominance in those games, that you can play nice, but also have enough drive and ambition to not take crap from other people. And so it makes it very hard and difficult, especially as a godly man as well, you know, dealing with people day in and day out. It can be kind of a drag to deal with certain people. And, you know, you just want to live and be free. And it seems like everybody around you wants to label you, wants to put you into a box or put you into a mental prison. And you're not asking for this. You're not even trying to be somebody that they think that you're trying to be. You're just being you, and you're striving to, you know, manifest your dreams. And a lot of people will take offense to it. A lot of people will not take kindly to it. And the reason for that is because they don't necessarily know how to have that in their own lives. A lot of the times, you'll never meet somebody, let's say, if you're a handsome, attractive, intelligent, competent man, and you meet another man like that, they're not going to be hating on you. They're not going to be trying to put you down. If anything, they're going to be like, yo, let's team up. Like, let's team up. Let's be the two lions that take out this frickin' flock of sheep. You know, because if these sheep think that they can tell us how to live our lives, like, we need to remind them that we're the lions here. Okay, and that's exactly the kind of mentality that I encourage to have. I'm not saying you have to have it, but you can take what you will from these videos. I had somebody email me recently and thinking, he was telling me that, oh, well, just because I think I'm this doesn't mean he has to take advice from me. And I said, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you good job, man. The way to stand your ground there. It's like these people they want to be right and they want to be offended. I'm not even saying that, and this is another thing, right? Like, I'm putting out free information that has helped me in my own life and that maybe might help other people. That's the hope. And guess what? I wouldn't have the kind of people in my circle that I do now if I wasn't speaking some kind of truth and I wasn't being who I am. And so it's just funny to see these kinds of people where they'll tell you that you're dangerous. I got that recently as well. It's like you're dangerous and you think you know what you're talking about and you don't. It's like, well, yeah, nobody really knows, man. And then they don't know how to respond exactly because you have humility and you operate with a sense of, yeah, I know some things, but I know I don't know everything. And I'm not sure that I could ever know everything. I don't think I would want to, because that's for God and God alone. That's not for me to know. Some things are just for God to understand. We don't need to understand everything. But sometimes, and that makes life a lot easier to live, by the way, when you can accept that you're not going to know everything, that you're not going to have it all together all the time, but you can have the faith in God and yourself that you'll have the resources to bounce back if you do fall down. You'll be able to have the strength to stand up. I mean, what is that really a negative message? Like, I don't is that really something you don't want to do? Like, what do you want to do when you fall? You want to just stay down? I mean, if you want to do that, go for it, but I'm not going to encourage people to stay down if they're down. Not on this channel. Nope, no sir. No ma'am, no sir. No whatever you think you are. If you're one of the letter people watching this, which I doubt people like that are watching, but who knows? Yeah, if you want to stay down, all right, man. Like you stay down. But we're going to be getting back up over here and we're going to be getting back in the fight because that's who we are. That's what we ought to be doing. And do you just lack inspiration? That's another thing. It's strange to be full of energy and vigor and virility and to really be striving all the time to just be a better version of yourself. You're always striving. And it's not because you're not content. It's just that you know that you're always capable of doing more while you're alive. Because this is the life that, I mean, as far as we know, this is the only life that we're ever going to have. And so it could be the case that, now I do personally have faith in the kingdom of heaven and God and going to the kingdom of heaven after this life. But while I'm here, I know for sure that this is my body that God has blessed me with. This is my vessel for my consciousness. This is the way that I'm going to operate. This is the life that I got, and the cards have been dealt. And now I'm going to play that hand the best of my ability because I want to play the game. I want to play the game of life. Well, what else are you going to be doing? Really? You're going to sit around and kind of mope about yourself and milking self-pity? Really? I mean, do you want to keep doing that? Do you want to stay down? Really? Like, how is encouraging people to stand up? It's mind-blowing to me. It's like, you can stand up. It's like, misogynist. He's mean. He's dangerous. Some of y'all make me laugh. It's just that kind of stuff. This just isn't for you then, and that's fine. But the thing is where we need to have the reconciliation that not everybody's going to understand us, and that's okay. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we don't need to hold true. So my thing that I personally do, and I'm not telling you you have to do this, but I personally wear the Batman mask when I'm out and about in the community. And it's almost like you have to wear that Batman mask the whole time, all the time, because if you don't, somebody's going to try to attack spiritually. And you've got to make sure that you have the confidence in yourself and the fortitude of mind to deal with whatever can happen, but also have the self-control and the stoicism to really ground yourself. That's another thing I think a lot of people are missing in today's day and age is a sense of stoicism. People don't know how to control their emotions. They're letting their emotions control them. And I do think that there's a difference between feelings and emotions. I think feelings is more of a child way to where your emotions are kind of like a vessel, or they're a type of energy that is experienced through your vessel of consciousness. Whereas your emotions is you can differentiate it from who you are, and I think that's the biggest difference. Is a feeling is something that captures you sometimes, whereas an emotion is something that you notice. So anyways, I hope this message was useful and insightful or resonated with somebody. Maybe it was relatable as well. And if you do want to join a godly community of men and women that are striving to better themselves each and every day, we are making a spiritual army for people that are striving to better themselves. And that is going to be in the Regal Change Academy. We do have the free Discord channel for the Academy as well as the paid community. And we're doing a Seek retreat, a virtual meditation retreat in just less than 2 weeks, February 8th of this year. And we are going to be doing guided meditations throughout the day for stress relief, for growing closer to God and awareness in general. And then also for the Regal Change Academy for the Discord channel, if you're in either of the paid community or the Discord and you want to be in the meditation retreat, you're going to get a discount. But if you're not in either of those, you're not going to receive a discount on the meditation retreat. But if you want to join the Discord, we have a bunch of free resources for fitness, meditation, dream interpretation, etc. And then in the paid community right now, we are finishing up the Art of War class series. We did the 7 Deadly Sins class series a couple months ago, and those are going to be more hands-on classes where we have tasks each and every week related to the reading that we're doing for the class. These are going to be limited time available classes, but then we also have classes that are available all the time, and those are going to be the Godlike Savage Workshop, meditation, entrepreneurship, AI optimization. We've got a whole bunch of different things for everybody in there. We also have 2 weekly Bible study calls, as well as a weekly Regal Assembly call where we talk about a variety of different topics and subjects each week. I do appreciate you guys tuning in and listening in. And I want to thank everybody moving from the YouTube platform over to X, Rumble, and Instagram recently. I appreciate your guys' extra support, and peace be with you all. Till next time.